Let's take a look at this example. We want to know the average or mean amount of money first-year college students spend at ABC College on school supplies that do not include books. We randomly surveyed 100 first-year students at the college. 3 of those students spent $150, $200, and $225 respectively. Identify the population, sample, parameter, statistic, variable, and data in this example. So we're just identifying the key terms in use in this example. Okay, so let's start with the population. Population is what the main thing we're studying. Okay, and if we read, we want to know the average amount of money first-year college students spend at ABC College. Okay, so we are interested in all first-year college students. That's what we want to know about, all first-year college students. Okay, all first-year college students at ABC College. Okay. Next, let's find the sample. Remember, the sample is a subset of the population. It helps us find out more about the population. Maybe talking to every first-year college student at ABC College is too difficult. Maybe there's too many of them. Maybe it's hard to track them down. Okay, so instead we talk to a subset. Who do we talk to? We randomly surveyed 100 first-year students at the college. That's our sample. That's who we actually talked to and gathered data from. Okay, that's the subset. The 100 first-year students surveyed. That's our sample. Okay. Next up is parameter. Remember, parameter is a summary of the data we are interested in for our population. It's a measurement or a summary of the population. So what are we trying to measure from the population? Well, it says right here, we want to know the average amount of money first-year college students spend at ABC College on school supplies that do not include books. Okay, so the average amount of money, that's what our parameter is. Okay, the average or mean amount of money first-year students spend on school supplies, excluding books. Okay, that's the parameter. That's the summarizing value we want for the entire population. Next, let's find the statistic. There we go. I can spell statistic. Okay? The statistic is an estimate of the parameter, but for the sample, right? It measures the same thing, but in the sample. So since the parameter is the average amount of money for the entire population, the statistic is the average amount of money for the sample. Okay? The average amount of money students who are sampled spent on school supplies excluding books. Okay? Okay. Two more to find. We need to find the variable and the data. So let's find the variable. Remember, the variable is the description of what we are measuring in amongst the students, amongst the members of our population. that will help us find that parameter, that statistic. So what are we actually measuring? Well, we are measuring the amount of money they spend excluding books, right? We want to know for each student how much money they spend excluding books. So that's the variable. So x equals how much money each student spends, and maybe I'll be more careful here, a student spends on school supplies excluding books. Okay? And finally, the data is what the actual answers to the variable are. For each individual student, the data is how much that student actually spent. Okay? Now, we don't know this for all the students, but we have it for a few. We are told that 3 of the students spent $150, $200, and $225. For those 3 students, that's their data. Okay? So that's the data we have. So it's what? 150. Let me make sure I get them all right. 150, 200, and 225. Okay, that is the data for those 3 students, and that's examples of the data that we could expect for the entire sample.